hurt. Froling in the post. Hand off to Willoughby. Good contest from Ernst. Potch tried to hunt it down. Kira Rowe was first to it. Had to heave. Shot clock violation.
I thought that was pretty well executed offense. Moved the ball, changed sides, got a nice little handoff action down low with two of their key offensive threats, but couldn't quite get it done. Come up with what I thought was an offensive board, but unfortunately ran out of clock.
Kayla Thornton's doing a great job of disrupting that reversal pass, so it's taking a little bit longer. The timing's not quite as good as Sydney would have liked it, so great job to Kayla.
Rochi. 40 seconds remaining in the first. Conti tried to feed Ernst. Flames basketball.
Yeah, we've talked there the depth of the Southside Flyers in the post. You know, LJ goes out with injury. In comes Bishop. Bishop goes out. In comes Ernst. 250 gamer. All of whom are 6'4" or bigger.
So much experience. Down low to Froling. Easy two. Further to that point carry, Southside just under 1,700 total games played. Sydney around 560. Big difference.
Yeah, it's youth versus veteran.
It really is. Here's Rochi on the wing. Conti for three.
Well, that was going to bring rain.
Thornton kept it in. No, just ran out of real estate.
5 seconds, plenty of time. I'd get the ball to Tiana downhill, maybe set a pick and roll screen with Keeley here and try and get her on the ring.
And they extend this lead going into the first break. Rowe inbounds, Froling. 3 seconds, Rochi was there, and a foul call. So 2.2 on the clock. Keeley Froling infringed on the final heave. Good start for the Flames.
Keeley Froling calling for the court wipers.
So sideline ball.
Interesting to see what they pull out here. Test, do they look to get little big screen action? We see Tiana down low there. You haven't got much time. You've got time to do two things, essentially. On the catch will be one thing, and then it's either catch and shoot or one dribble shoot.
Willoughby will inbound into Froling. Turn and go. And the defence from Southside just enough. So it's a 3-point ball game at the end of one. Sydney with the early ascension here. And impressive so far, the visitors. Fast start last week as well, Carrie. Promising signs and a good game of hoops so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a little nervous from both teams at the start. Huge crowd in here, you know, and scary for us all, I think, but certainly for the Southside Flyers with LJ, you know, with that unknown, what's the injury there. But both teams, all the defensive intensity was good. There was a nice mix. No one's really got away yet. There's been a couple of break opportunities, but the pressure defense from both teams, I think, has been the difference.
Yeah, it's a great style of basketball to watch. You know, both teams up and in. It's a very Australian style to watch and play, and I think both teams are doing a great job executing. When they're executing, they're getting great shots. So hopefully that continues in a tight contest here in the second quarter. There's
a great crowd in attendance as well, as you can see in your backgrounds. And Tess, I know you played, of course, in front of some crowds of this magnitude most recently at the World Cup in Sydney. What's the adjustment like for these players? Do you just play the game?
Yeah, when you're out there, you don't really hear the crowd, but obviously it can be a bit intimidating at the start. We heard Cheryl in that first time out say, you know, the emotion's out of the game now, so we're nice and settled into it. But yeah, I think both teams, you know, once you're out there, all you really focus is on playing the game. But it is what you dream of playing in as an athlete, is these big field arenas. So huge shout out to Southside and what they've been able to do to put on this game, especially for Lauren Jackson. So we hope to see it back out on the floor soon.
Absolutely. Hope for good news there if possible. But it has been a great turnout from basketball fans and sport fans around the city of Melbourne for this one. 3-point ball game, and the Sydney Siders are hoping they can spoil the party here. Winners of just one of their last 5. We know they've had some changes around from the roster perspective. Come here to play, though, her coach Shelley Gorman's team. And Tiana Mangakahia especially, she's been aggressive early. Yeah,
she has. You know, we saw her hit a 3 early, then put the ball on the deck. We know she can play great pressure D. You know, she's also, I think, doing a good job of trying to get her team to execute. I think she's managed to control the momentum for her team. Having said that, Southside Flyers, you know, defence, you mentioned it earlier, Tess, trying to prevent reversals, stop the ball, changing sides. But I think she's certainly led the way so far.
Mangakahia has 7 to lead all scorers. Beck Cole with 6 as well for the Flyers. And Abby Bishop with 4 off the pine. Here we go. Second quarter underway. Panousis with the rock. Willoughby on the wing. Potch trying to deter her. Driving through the keyway on Bishop. And the foul call as well.
Like Bishop put her hand up before she even fouled that one. I'm taking one here, ref. I'll take this one. I'll send a line, thanks.
Yeah, good heads-up veteran play. Rather make her earn it from the free throw line than give her a wide-open layout. Willoughby is proving to be difficult for them to guard at the moment. I think they've kind of put Potch on there to slow her down, but she's causing them a lot of problems.
Makes on the first.
Yeah, got lots of strings to her bow offensively. She can put it on the deck. She can shoot the mid-range. She's got the three ball. Great change of pace. She's robust. And she's a beautiful free throw shooter.
2 of 2, 86% clip on the year. Conti mishandles. Sydney dive on it. But Conti makes out of it.
This is the, if Sydney can get themselves to the free throw line, that allows them to press. We know they like to extend their pressure, a little 2-2-1 press, see if they can shake the ball loose. That puts them in a good situation. Choose some clock, maybe come up with a steal. Suits their lack of size.
Rochi retrieves it back from Bishop. Runs straight into Froling. And the foul call.
That's certainly, Sydney definitely can't have Keely Froley getting in foul trouble. That'd be a disaster for them. They're not a big team. She's got to essentially play 37, 38 minutes for them and get the task on the massive size of all the post players for the Southside Flyers.
Oh, lovely move from Maddie down in the paint there.
Rochi on the reverse. First bucket of the second for the Flyers. Panousis. Now to Rowe at the top. Willoughby. Potch, nearly the steal. Now Froling with the pick, 6 seconds. Panousis. Mangakahi has got to go. Another three, won't fall for her. There might be last touch by Potch. Willoughby did just enough on the rebounding contest.
Even the athleticism, that rebounding contest between Potch and Willoughby, it was like an AFL marking contest.
Fresh 14 to the Flames. Mangakahi trying to get open. Here's Kira Rowe. Mangakahi. Rochi right on her grill.
Wow, Maddie Rochi, what a defender. Negotiated 2 ball screens then, squeezed her hips over. That's world-class defence in my mind, Tess.
Yeah, she's a great defender, and it's great to see her and Mon out on the court matching up against Mangakahi and Panousis. What a great battle of 2 point guards for each team. And I think having Maddie off the ball and defending Mangakahi in the quarter courts, enabling her to play such tough quarter court defence.
Conti hands it to Thornton. Now Bishop, here is Maddie Rochi. Down low. Rowe defending Thornton. In the post. Gets her shot away, won't go.
I think Panousis has to come and double there. That's a 2 point bucket in the keyway. She's right there. She's just got to come and help out her teammate Kira Rowe down in the post.
Particularly when the ball's on the deck, back in post play, 1 and 2 dribbles, great opportunity to go and get a trap or a double. As you say, support your undersized teammate.
Thornton goes straight at Rowe, charge.
Great D from Kira Rowe. She is a defensive player. That's what she's out there on the court to do. She's got the tough matchup tonight against Thornton, but so far she's doing pretty well.
Busy call from the referee. No arguments from Thornton. I know how dangerous she is when travelling downhill with a basketball. Cole will check back in as Mon Conti takes a break.
Sydney Flames sitting with this little 3 point lead. Can they sustain it?
So stays with the Flames. Thornton pestering.
She's been great disrupting the offensive flow of the Flames, getting in every single passing lane. So it's exactly what you want from your superstar, doing it at both ends of the court.
Here's Willoughby. 8 seconds. Driving on blitz serves. Turnover. Now Bishop.
Pressure defence from the Southside Flyers.
Chaotic few moments. We've got Candy Hertz as well with an update for us. Candy.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, guys, LJ's just made her way back out here on crutches. She won't be returning to the game. She did look a little emotional. Her team, of course, giving her as much support as they could. And I will say that the crowd, who can see close to their bench, gave her a massive round of applause. It just doesn't look like she's going to be out here again for the rest of this match.
Thank you, Candy. Devastating news for Lauren and the fans that have turned up today.
Yeah, it is. It'll be, knee. We know she's had, knee issues previously in her career, and certainly at an older age. Tess, you're going through knee issues yourself, but any injury is tough. But the crowd at John Cain Arena today, they're going to get a hell of a game of basketball. I think this one might be a tight one all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really feeling for Loz right now. Hope that she is okay and it's nothing too serious. But, they are star-studded, so they can still get the job done, especially for her, and make this game, the LJ tribute game, worth it for her.
3-point ball game to the Flames. 2.5 gone, second quarter. Panousis. Wing triple doesn't drop. Here's Cole. Ernst puts it on the deck. Nice pass, Bishop. So she'll go to the free-throw line, Abby Bishop.
Big to big. You have a 6'5" athlete, put the ball on the floor, use their length to just pop it inside to her 6'4" teammate. She's hard to defend.
Yeah, and Carly's just shoots the three ball so well, which makes, those driving lanes open up for her. She gets a tough closeout, and then with that height, being able to put the ball on the floor and make an assist like that, what a dream to be able to play with someone like that.
Bishop, good on the first.
Nice little assist on a 250th game.
252nd, I believe, as well. Carey played that against the Caps, but of course had the presentation pre-game of a life member of the WNBL.
Here we see Southside extending full court after that free throw. So, Emma Clark, great drive to the basket. It's good to see her having a bit more opportunity lately as well. She shoots that three ball really nicely.
The starting lineup today. Emma Clark, here's Cole. Ernst hanging around there for the screen. Rochi with the triple.
They needed that.
Ties the ball game up for the Flyers. First triple of the contest for Southside. Willoughby driving left against Ernst off her feet. No good off the window.
A little stagnant offensively for Southside Flyers. Everyone's standing. I mean, you want to space out around that seam ball screen, but looking a little tired to me.
Candy, we've got you down there with some more news on LJ.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did just go and chat to the team. It turns out it's not her foot. We know that she's been playing with a broken foot for the past few weeks, as the GOAT does, but it's not her foot. It turns out that it's her leg. They said she's going to head for some scans tomorrow, so it's a definite no-go for any more time on the court tonight, but no word on the rest of the season.
Thank you, Candy. Hopefully, some good news out of that tomorrow for LJ as she watches on. Rochi with the free throw. 2 of 2. So the Flyers retake the lead here. Mangakahia bursting through into the corner. Shervin stepping out her range.
Not shy to shoot the three, Shervin. We've seen her take a couple tonight so far. She's seeing a few more minutes with Keely Froling sitting down with 3 fouls, which could potentially damage the Sydney Flames.
Big blow for the Flames. Shervin will get some extended run here as Mangakahia slices to the hoop.
She's a good finisher when she gets inside. She gets downhill. She changes direction.
Especially going to that right hand. I think if, Southside can force her to her left a bit more, she's more inclined to shoot the pull-up, which, once she's downhill on her right, it's basically 2 points every time.
So Bishop fouled at the three-point line by Willoughby. Second on Willoughby. And 3 free throws for Abby Bishop.
The Sydney Flames definitely don't need Willoughby getting any further fouls. They need her on the floor, particularly Froling sitting down.
Yeah, big blow there too. Starting bigs in foul trouble. But on the first is Bishop. Now looking at some extended run this evening.
She'll absorb those LJ minutes, and she's certainly in good form at the moment. Played a nice little 2-game. We saw her early with Ernst.
She'll take a break after going 3 of 3 Up to 9 points now, Abby Bishop. Flyers up in defence. Willoughby gets it over via Rowe. Mangakahia poked away. Stays in bounds. Denied by Thornton.
Oh, she's everywhere, isn't she, Kayla Thornton?
That extended pressure up the court from Southside's causing the Flames all sorts of trouble. They need to really get a good set, a good inbounds play here.
12-second shot clock for Sydney. Mangakahia to run the inbounds. Tried to thread the needle. Ended up in the lap of Emma Clark for 3.
Lucky break for Sydney there, but corner 3, Emma's been knocking that down all season.
And the 4th triple of the contest for the Flames. Blitzarves acted out, trying to drive baseline. They're Colt, double dribble.
Again, pressure defence the other way. Wreaking havoc for both teams. Applying pressure, forcing turnovers.
All tied up here, halfway through the second at John Cain Arena. Massive crowd here in attendance for the Cygnett WNBL. Willoughby has to move it onwards. Shervin comes with a screen. Mangakahia probing, gets Rochi off her feet. And Flyers with the stop. Into the corner, here's Beck Cole. Ernst, deep triple. Not quite.
Mangakahia looks like she might just happy to set up offence. We've got a foul call. Ernst with the call, I believe, on Shervin.
Break in play. Great start for Mangakahia. 9 points, 2 dimes. So we'll reset 17 on the shot clock. Mangakahia to inbound. Willoughby working hard to get free. Here's Shervin. So Mangakahia calling the shots, has the mismatch. Tried to take Ernst off the dribble. Now the 3. And the call for Mangakahia goes against Ernst.
Good awareness from Flames there to give Tiana enough space on that mismatch, having the big guarding her. So they eventually got it to her and got a great shot for Tiana heading to the line for 3 foul shots here.
Carly Ernst will be replaced by Bishop. Up to 2 personals now, Ernst. So first trip to the charity stripe of the ball game for Mangakahia. Shooting 91% on the season from this spot.
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, that's elite free throw shooting in the 90s. It's greatness.
One of the league leaders, goes without saying.
Commentator's curse.
Always the case.
We take it back. Have another shot. Oh, she's got one.
Third free throw to come. And the third missing as well, rather. So Flames by 1.
Interestingly, in bigger arenas, if you don't play in them traditionally, free throw shooting in a big arena, if that's not the arenas you're used to, does take on a different look. Would you agree, Tess?
Yeah, absolutely. The depth perception behind the ring is all out of whack. So even when you're shooting threes or any shot on the court, but I'm sure both teams got a good shoot around today, this morning, and hopefully, you know, they are shooting the ball pretty well so far, so hopefully that continues throughout the game.
So timeout on the floor. It is a 1-point ball game. This timeout brought to you by our major partners at Cygnett for the WNBL. A big thanks to Cygnett for powering the league with high-quality tech this season. Explore their range at cygnett.com. Let's see if we can get a little bit of the Southside huddle here with Cheryl Chambers.
Down the other end, stay in front, box out and run. Okay, if you get it on the wing here, look for these targets inside. Keep giving us, one of you run hard, one of you follow. Okay, and keep being the target. Here we go. Southside.
Interesting from Cheryl Chambers there, just steadying the troops.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, you know, LJ in there clearly emotional and upset. athletes know when it's not good. And particularly for her, this game, I won't say for a send-off game, but a big game promoted around her for people to get an opportunity that haven't seen her play live to see her in a huge sporting mecca that Melbourne is. So the emotion for her is twofold. Not being able to be out there and play for a team and play in front of this crowd and feel like she's letting the team and the crowd down. And then for her team too, what's up with LJ? Is that her season done? What are we doing here? And I think excellent coaching and leadership by Coach Cheryl Chambers. Say, guys, we're okay here. Take that emotion out of it. We can't deal with it right now. Let's focus on the basketball and what we need to do offensively and defensively.
It is a cruel storyline for sure. Nonetheless, still an amazing spectacle to have this many fans in attendance, and a good game so far as well. Might be one team that's out of the finals race, but absolutely taking it up to Southside at the moment. There's Rowe at the free-throw line.
They are, and as we talked about earlier, they have confidence against this team. They've only lost by 7 earlier in the season and went down by 5 after leading a bulk of the game just 3 weeks ago in Sydney in a big venue.
Good on the second. Thornton pulls it down. So Sydney leaving some points on the table at the free-throw line here, early days. Rochi, mid-range 2 from the elbow.
Coach Shelley Gorman won't be happy with that pretty sloppy defence on that pick-the-picker action. Didn't negotiate screens well. Maddie Rochi finds herself with a wide-open elbow jumper.
Maddie's really stepped up on offense and defense when her teams needed her so far in this game. Great leadership from the point guard of the Southside Flyers.
To 9 points now, Rochi on just 4 shots. Willoughby on the left hands, rattles out.
Tough to get a finish over the extended arms of Abby Bishop.
Bishop, top of the perimeter. Yeah, Cole. With Sarves getting open in the corner. World of space. Cole bats it out, but Mangakahi is there.
A little bit of juice has gone out of the Sydney Flames' defensive intensity. Sarah Blickoff's favourite spot, I'm going to say, is that corner 3.
There's the hustle from Rochi and Blitzarves. Mangakahi might have caught an errant arm to the face. Battling hard, both these teams.
And that's the thing, if you didn't know where these teams were on the ladder, you'd say this is a finals type game. The intensity's right there. The crowd speaks to that. The Sydney Flames certainly feel that they're a legitimate shot in this one. You can sense it.
Certainly are. It's outside ball. Rochi and Mangakahi. 2 of the best Australian point guards. Here's Poch down the keyway.
They're really missing Keely out on the floor in that big spot, I think, at the moment. You've got Tiana up the court defending Maddie, but no one's really backing her up behind her, so...
Low for 3. Not that time.
Pretty early in the shot clock, I think, for Kuro to be launching that one. They might need to just work the ball around a little more, then find themselves a ball screen action.
Thornton on the baseline. Poch off the dribble. Driving on Mangakahi. Second chance. Just 5 seconds to work with. And Rochi will have to concede the backcourt violation.
Interesting to see what Sydney Flames run here offensively. Do they use a bit more clock, get it through sets of hands, let the ball do the work, and come back with Willoughby in an action, maybe with Mangakahi.
100 seconds out from the main break. Flames ball, 8-second shot clock. Willoughby out to Clark in the corner. Thornton.
Wow, she's been impressive defensively.
Nearly stole it. It'll stay with the Flames.
I'd love to see a little bit more space in Sydney Flames offence to let, Willoughby and Mangakahi get downhill and on the ring like they're very good at. So if they could space the floor a little bit more and let them get downhill, I think that'll work really well for them.
Mangakahi, 2.2 on the clock. Got to shoot. Shervin turns and goes.
Foul called. Abby Bishop is gobsmacked.
So the Flames somewhat get out of jail there. Flyers with the slender lead. been a defensive second quarter so far.
Yeah, that has the intensity from both teams. It's dropped a little bit, I think, for the Sydney Flames, but certainly, the intensity led by Thornton. Her in-the-lane defence is elite, and then her ability to contain penetration is superb for someone of her size.
Shervin at the line. That one goes. Now 4 of 8 from the free-throw line, Sydney.
Sherman started on the bench. He's played quite a few more minutes with Keely Froling sitting on the pine with 3 fouls.
Both teams back up bigs with some extra minutes. Back iron, Shervin, and Blitzarve just run out of real estate. Sydney ball.
Great hustle by Willoughby to keep that play alive, get another possession for her team.
14 to work with. Can they tie or take the lead before the halftime break? Panousis will inbound into Willoughby. Rochi right there as she always is in defence. Finds Rowe cutting to the hoop. Won't go. Good D from the Flyers. Ahead to Blitzarves. They'll reset. Conti moves it on to Rochi. Deflected off Willoughby. Now finds Thornton with position. And the foul call.
You could see Rochi wanted that matchup, wanted that pass for the whole possession. So great job for the rest of the Southside team to keep that space and get that mismatch inside with Thornton.
Yeah, well executed, well directed.
Kayla Thornton will shoot 2. Leading scorer for this Flyers team. 17 points per game and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, she's been so consistent, plays both ends of the floor. She's classy.
Real leader out on the floor as well, Kayla Thornton.
Yeah, she's super tough. I remember our first matchup with the Boomers playing Southside, and whenever they needed a bucket, they would just give her the ball and let her go to work. So very tough, very hard matchup for any team playing against Southside in the league.
Extends the lead for the Flyers. Willoughby. Flames want a response. Panousis hops against the screen, steps into a triple. Wow.
They needed that one. That's a big bucket.
Yeah, and that was good D from Southside. Got them extended, but she's a three-point shooter, so they need to run her off the three-point line.
Just inside the arc for 2. The Flyers with Rochi. She'll go to the line.
Kiro caught her on the hip there. Maddie Rochi playing super poised, just probed in there. Caught that hip, got herself to the free throw line. She's an exceptional free throw shooter as well. Let's not curse her.
Let's hope not. We've got form in this contest. Makes on the first. So first fly into double figures, Maddie Rochi. And even 30 seconds out from the halftime break, and she goes 2 of 2. Mangakahia fighting hard on Conti. Tries to lose the defender, Panousis. Around the Shervin pick, no, turnover. Rochi spins out of trouble. Hands it over to Conti. Now Potch down the lane. Sydney, can they slingshot the other way? Mangakahia will waltz in for 2. 6 seconds to work with for the Flyers. Rochi. Here's the corner 3 for Potch. And what would have been a great finish to the half. 2-point ball game. The Southside Flyers lead this one, Carrie Graff.
Sydney Flames got out of jail in that last possession. I don't think their clock and score awareness was not very good. They got out of jail and found themselves a wide open layup. But hey, they go in a halftime 2 down against the top team in the comp.
Maddie Rochi has been particularly fantastic so far in this one, Tess.
Yeah, like I said before, anytime they've needed a stop on defence or a score on offence, she's stepped up big. I've been super impressed with their leadership and poise leading the Southside Flyers from that point guard position tonight.
Candy's got Maddie Rochi down there on the court.
Maddie, it feels like you're playing with amazing intensity out there tonight. A little bit of spice too, and looking at the score on the board, it's feeling quite tense. What's it like from your perspective?
Yeah, it's a very fast-paced game out there. Obviously, we know we have to stop them in D-trans. They've come out with a lot of energy. We were kind of a bit flat at the start, so we know we have to match that in the second half.
What do you think is going to have to change then?
Definitely our D-trans. Obviously, we're scored. That's not the issue. It's our defensive end. We're not in help position at all. So if we can get that, we'll win the game.
How are you feeling with this incredible crowd behind you tonight at John Cain Arena?
Yeah, it's amazing, honestly, to come out and hear the roar and to play in front of this many people is a pretty special moment.
You're playing with some extra pep in your step. Keep going in the second half. Go, Joe.
Thank you.
Matty Rocci highlighting defensive transition as something to work on.
Yeah, that's not what I saw, but I'm not out there. I thought defensively in the half court they were good, and Sydney didn't get out on the break too often. So I think their defence has actually been pretty good. I think they've gone away a little bit from going inside. That worked for them early. We saw both ends. There's been some good patches to play, but I'm going to say both teams' defensive intensity to me has been the standout.
Yeah, when you're denying the lanes, you can often get caught out a little bit in those help positions. But I think that defensive intensity to get out and deny the lanes has been fantastic from the Flyers. I mean, when they are scoring, they don't really have a help, so maybe that's what she's talking about there.
Southside with a slender lead here at the halftime break. Stick around, second half, not far away here at John Cain Arena. She'll start the offensive for the Flames. Coming out of nowhere was Woods with the denial.
Great effort. She could have easily given up, but she didn't.
Thornton. Oh, beautiful dish into blitz arms. Shot clock ticks down to 5 now. Mansfield pulls up for a long three. That is massive from Mansfield.
There it is.
Thornton pops it in for the Flyers. Between game clock and shot clock, Talbot for the win. Can't convert. Whittle taps it back in. Bishop holds on to it. It's a monumental victory for the Southside Flyers. She'll get it back from Whittle. A behind the back pass to Talbot.
Oh, I think that'll be in the highlight reel. How good was that?
Can't get it to go. Samuelson pulls the trigger. Still out on the floor. Samuelson. Boom! And they pulled off a close win tonight. Whitcomb, lovely look away bounce pass to clinch Hoycard.
She is just exceptional, Sammy Whitcomb.
Needs a shot up, and it's Atwell, the right person for the job. So Perth's winning ways continue. They have won 7 in a row.
Do not underestimate the power of a good blind. Take this exhausted couch. Now it stands before you. Magnifique. Even this cocktail of dead skin is gracefully waltzing. Da 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 da. DIY blinds. Change the ugly.
We've been wanting to have a baby for about 4 years. We have to travel to Sydney for a week, take time off work. The hardest part is waiting.
1,000 kilometres.
Travel to Sydney, take time off work.
Over and over. and over again. These salt-of-the-earth country cops won't give up on their dream.
We're willing to do whatever it takes to bring a child into our lives.
Big Miracles starts Monday after Married.
Gossip Girl here, your one and only source into the scandalous lives of Manhattan's elite. XOXO Gossip Girl.
Get your summer streaming on 9 now.
So baby, in 90 days, we're gonna be husband and wife.
I was with her for 5 days, and then I proposed to her.
She's so eager to be in love, she lets red flags just go.
People say 19-year-old, she's just using you. Maybe she could be.
90 Day Fiancé. Get your summer streaming on 9 now.
Tune in to the WNBL show, dropping weekly during the season and released across your favourite podcast network every Tuesday. Or watch the full vodcast at WNBL.basketbol.
League MVP. I'll never get used to that, by the way. That's a bit strange.
We can always come to you for a great inspirational quote.
Join me, Megan Hustray, and my team of co-hosts, stars across the league, as we talk about everything that's happening on and off the court in the Cygnett WNBL.
Hi Hoopers, I'm Tess Madgen. I'm so excited to be offering virtual masterclasses this school holidays with She Hoops. Starting on the 9th of January at 5:30 p.m. every Monday night. In this 5-week series, we will be delivering a range of basketball skills. I will also take you through a number of mobility skills designed to keep your body active and engaged. And the best part is that it's free. Go to shehoops.com.au to register now and secure your spot.
Did you know that 100% of Aussies want more? More money, more time, more Harry and Meghan? What? That's why the 100 have decided to give you more.
More what?
Well, more Sophie Monk.
OMG.
All right.
More. OMG.
That's enough. That's enough, Sophie.
OMG.
Yes. I agree. That girl is way too much. Chin up.
The new season of The 100 with more Sophie starts Tuesday after Married on 9.
Do I get a slow-mo shot?
OMG.
It's the biggest WNBL season yet, and superstar Lauren Jackson returns. Turn it up. Don't miss a block, basket, or game winner.
Just not steal the win.
WNBL live on 9 now.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena for this round 13 matchup between the Flyers and the Sydney Flames. Liam Ellison here alongside me is Carrie Graff and Tess Madgen. It's been a tight tussle so far, particularly in that second quarter, Carrie.
Yeah, it has. I mean, the defensive intensity at both ends is, forced turnovers. There's been both teams have done a great job of that. No one's really had a stranglehold on the game at all. There's been some little momentum swings, but nothing of note. The point guards for both teams, Maddie Rocci and Tiana Mangaka here, I thought they'd, set the standard for their teams.
Yeah, two Opal squad members having a great tussle in this first half. It's very enjoyable to watch, and the future of basketball for Australia is looking great in their hands.
They've been terrific. Rocci with 11 points. Mangaka here leading the game in scoring with 12 points and 3 assists. For the Flyers sitting on top of the table, well, they've got a run home that they'll be looking to take care of if they want to stay in first position. 4 games left after this one. How does that look to you, the run home? A few tough games there.
Yeah, look, they're top 4, three against the top 4. The good thing for the Flyers is they've got some single games. They're not in too many back-to-backs, but for them it's can they hold that top spot? You know, they haven't got the splits on all the teams, but that's a pretty good run for them. You look at the Boomers. This is a tough one, Tess. You can probably speak to your team's run home there. What are you looking at?
Yeah, it looks pretty tough. I mean, we really have to get the game tomorrow versus Spirit to get the head-to-head over them, and then we've got Townsville away, Flyers at home, so they'll be, you know, 2 top 4 teams probably, and then 2 games versus Sydney and 1 against Canberra, which will hopefully be wins for us.
That game against Bendigo tomorrow is going to be fantastic right here on 9 Now. The Fire as well right in the mix. Also have the 6 remaining games. Carrie, what do you like there?
Yeah, look, they've probably got one of the toughest schedules, toughest run homes. You look at that. They've got 5 of those 6 games against the top 5 teams. The 5 teams that are battling out for finals. And as we're seeing tonight, Sydney Flames are well out of the finals race, but they can beat anyone on any given day. So we'd like to chalk up, you know, wins that, you should get one against Sydney, you should get one against Canberra. They're not a guarantee, but that's certainly the toughest schedule on the run home to the finals. As is, you know, Bendigo, it's a pretty tough one for them. 3 on the road, 2 at home, you know, all against the top 5 again. So you'd say on the run home, Bendigo and Towns will have the big fight.
Bendigo started the season off obviously red hot as well, undefeated, and the Lynx are on everyone's tails in 5th position. Can they do it, Tess?
I think they definitely can. I think that head-to-head between the Fire and the Spirit's going to be massive in making up the finals, and it could come down to that last game, but Lynx will be looking to get revenge tonight against Townsville at home, and I think that could set up a really nice run home for them.
It is a Saturday night double header. The Townsville Fire and the Perth Lynx, of course, who played as well earlier in the round. It was a 10-point victory to the Fire, travelling all the way across the Nullarbor.
Yeah, it was a big. Shyla Hill suiting up in her first game for this season, transferred over from the Sydney Flames to the Townsville Fire, a team she played with 2 seasons ago in the hub season. And this was, you know, a Townsville Fire a little undermanned too. No Steph Reed, no Lauren Nicholson, but those 2 ladies stepped up. Samuelson was on fire, shot the ball well, as did Michaela Roof. But it was a massive win for the Townsville Fire to get the split that sets them up in the finals race.
Carly Samuelson led the way as well with 26 points in that one. It was a huge win for Townsville in the context of their finals chances as well, handing the Lynx their 6th loss of the season. But the rematch coming up, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. local, the second game of your doubleheader this evening. And the second half of the Flyers and the Flames not too far away. Flames have taken it right up to Southside so far. What do you think they need to do to continue this chance at winning, if you like, for Sydney, Tess?
I think they need to continue up the court defence on the Flyers, take them out of their stuff, but then make sure they're getting a great shot on offence every time. I think keeping that spacing's crucial, and getting the ball to Mangakahia, Froling and Willoughby will pay dividends towards them at the end of the game.
Willoughby has the 3 personal fouls, had a sit towards the end of the second quarter, hoping that she will stay out of foul trouble for the remainder of this one. We've got Candy Hertz as well down on the court in just a moment with some Opals legends. Candy, do you have us? Hear from Candy in just a moment. Just have some Opals legends with us. We'll get back to that in just a second. So the single possession ball game. In fact, now we do have Candy.
We're so lucky, team. I'm joined by some incredible Opals, former Opals, Olympians and amazing women of our sport. Tonight is all about celebrating the greatness that is Lauren Jackson and the WNBL. What do you think, Al? How much is it amazing to have this here tonight?
Oh, it's fantastic and a wonderful celebration of the WNBL and, of course, the great Lauren Jackson. And we're so happy to be here and support her.
It is such an incredible one. I know that you said you wanted the nickname Cookie, and I went and called you out, so we're going back to Cookie. Spawny, it is so exciting to see this incredible talent out here, but it's also amazing to see how incredible it is to have the uptake of the fans. What do you think of the fans tonight?
Oh, I love it. I loved how there were lineups when you arrived, and the atmosphere was just electric from the start. I loved all the rah-rah, and it's been an awesome game to fit that too.
It has been a really exciting game. It feels like the talent here, not only on the court tonight, but through the WNBL is amazing. Talk to me.
And the talent is about to run up our backside right now as they're trying to start the game. But the talent is amazing. The atmosphere has been phenomenal, and it's just a wonderful night for women's sport.
Timsy, not only an incredible basketballer, but incredible on the broadcast too. We do need to get off, but thank you so much. Amazing legends of the game.
Thank you, Candy. Great to hear from Timsy, as always. and some stars of Australian basketball. Doesn't look to be too many empty seats, does there?
No, it looks like a ripper. The atmosphere, as we said, it's got, you know, championship vibe about it.
2-point ball game coming into the second half here. Mangakahia in the corner. Willoughby won't go on the first jumper.
Southside looking to push tempo. Sarah Blitzarv's got out and run the lane hard there. Didn't come from the guards, but they're happy now to execute.
Bishop on the perimeter. Onto the low block. Panousis poked at it. Here's Cole. Nice pass. Feeding Bishop. Just missing. And Thornton and Bishop get tangled up on the O-glass.
Sydney have opted to start a bit smaller this half. They've got the 2-point guards on with Panousis and Mangakahia. I thought Emma Clark did an exceptional job in her first start. She had 7 points and 7 rebounds. So I think, you know, she'll look to have a big part to play in the second half. But obviously, Flames want to get up and in and maybe run Tiana off the ball a little bit more, free her up on offence.
Here is Panousis. Manning point, Mangakahia will reset the action. Froling back out there with the 3 personals. Bishop was there, and it's going to be a personal, her third, Abby Bishop.
Big contest between these two, Bishop and Froling. Froling, we know, sat with 3 fouls. Bishop called for a little push, poke. At the other end, we saw them clearly trying to go at Keely Froling. Didn't get a foul call.
So both bigs, Bishop and Froling, with the 3. And it goes the way of the Flyers. Couldn't fire that time on the inbounds play.
That did look like a good passing option, but Sarah Blitzarves is just so long on that defence. Across the board, Southside are super long and they disrupt everything on offence.
Bishop. Blitzarves on the wing. 2 stars of the first half, and Rochi and Mangakahia. Thornton. Down low to Cole. And Flames get the stop.
Critical for both teams to keep those bigs on the floor. Let's see what Sydney do here. Southside did a great job 3-way switching on that ball screen previously to absorb the roller.
Unsurprisingly, all stats columns very, very even so far in this contest. Sydney with a slight advantage at the 3-point line. Down low, Froling collects it.
Well, didn't they miss her in that second quarter just to give him some inside scoring punch other than penetration from the guards? But
the skipper providing the leadership. Bishop down low, hands it off to Thornton. Can't go on the layup. Rochi diving in there, chaotic moments. Thornton, Willoughby with a hustle, jump ball.
Keely also offers that to her team, that hustle, and she leads by example with that, and they all jump on her back. So she got a hand in there to deflect that offensive rebound for the Flyers and make it harder from them from the inbounds here.
Here it is again. Thornton, Froling in there as well.
Desperation, intensity, you know, looking at the Sydney Flames, you wouldn't say they're a team that only, you know, managed to get 4 wins so far this season.
You suspect this crowd would give any team a rush of adrenaline, regardless of your ladder position. All tied up here. 2 minutes into the third quarter at John Cain Arena. Rochi into Cole. Now Thornton working on Rowe at the low block. This time makes no mistake.
Tough move, but tough D. Kira Rowe didn't do anything wrong there. She was in great position, kept her body in front, but Willoughby just has the class to... Thornton, sorry, has the class just to negotiate her way around.
So the call here from the ref. And the word is from the bench at Southside, Lauren Jackson, a suspected Achilles, but not confirmed, guys.
Oh, that's absolutely devastating. Fingers crossed that's not the case when she goes for scans tomorrow, but that's a huge blow.
Southside with the lead, 2 points in arrears of the Flames.
She went down in that first minute of play. I think she played one stanza, one end of the floor. It was slowed up, and, you know, clearly we hope for her health and she continue through a season, but in particular for this game, what a devastating blow it is for her and for her team not to have her out there as part of this one.
The cruelest of blows for Lauren is Willoughby. She's infringed. So Sydney ball. And this Melbourne crowd has certainly given her some ovations throughout, despite.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will at the end. And knowing Lauren as we do, as injured as she is, I'm sure she'll be sitting down there at the end of the game, signing thousands of autographs as she has done before. But
some of the lines that the fans have had to get her autograph after games has been remarkable, doing it while icing her foot as well.
And she will stay there till every single autograph is signed. So she just, you know, obviously the GOAT of basketball on the court, but also off the court, what she provides fans of basketball in Australia is exceptional. And, you know, we all need to aspire to be like that.
Promotion of the game, absolutely first class. And this evening, just yet another example why.
Bit of spice between the 2 point guards there. Hands in, elbowed off.
It's been the matchup to watch so far. Froling and Thornton as well. The other, here's Mangakahia off the dribble. Into the lane, just rattles out. Froling follows the miss.
Great possession, Keely Froling. You know, she's an undersized big, but she comes up with some big offensive boards.
Mangakahia on the wing. Puts it behind her back. Pretty move off the window.
That is a beautiful move. And to her left. So great job, Tiana.
One of the highlights of the game so far. Here's Blitzarves.
Great D by Kira Rowe there. I hope Sarah, yep, she's getting up now. All good. But great D by Kira. She's really that last line of defence so often for the Sydney Flames.
Mangakahia. Nice dish to Rowe. Not that time. Now Rochi calling the shots for the Flyers.
So do they go back inside? Can they get the ball to Thornton? Nice little big screen action.
Thought about the triple. Bishop hovering inside the lane, no good. Long rebound out for the Flames. Mangakahia moves it forwards, and Panousis.
Great wall-up there by Keely on that last defensive possession, avoiding her fourth foul. So smart play by her.
Timeout on the floor. This one brought to you by DIY Blinds. To fit out your home with Australian-made designer quality window furnishings at the best prices, head to DIYblinds.com.au to order your free samples today. And a big thanks to Cheryl Chambers and the Flyers for allowing us into the huddle so far this evening. Let's see if we can catch some of it now.
Sarah, sorry, that's coming for Sarah. Are we okay? Who's going to be first? Are we good? We're our own worst enemy. We just need to calm down here. Make sure we box out every single time. So you're going to take Vanessa and you've got Tiana. Okay, let's not make it into a wall. Just stay in front of her and carry a really big hand. Offensively, let's go all the way through to hand curl. We're going to go all the way through to hand curl. Okay, see if you can go one-on-one. If you want it, you're going to have to be warriors. Here we go. Make it happen. Southside.
Consistent message coming through from Cheryl Chambers, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, we could hear in the background Thornton saying, come on, do we want it? So urging her teammates to step up, bring the energy, bring the intensity. Let's, and be physical. Keely Froling gave him a bath on the boards there. She came up, she's undersized, came up with a couple of possessions. So Cheryl Chambers imploring her team to do the effort things, get the blockouts done. If we want this one, we're going to have to fight. And right now, Sydney Flames have got some fight in them.
Leading the rebounding column 24-21 so far as well, Tess. Is the undersized team coming into this contest?
Yeah, they definitely aren't undersized in heart. So a lot of having Keely back on the floor, getting her hands to a lot of possessions, it's huge for them.
This Melbourne crowd getting involved here. Sydney ball, fresh 14 into the corner. Mangakahia has been terrific. This time the turnover.
Gosh, Thornton can switch under point guards and make a play like that. Defensively, she's been elite today.
Absolutely, and she's got Poch. She's switching with Poch, so it's basically like for like there. And I think Cheryl's probably subbed in Poch to give them a bit of spice on defence.
Deflection sees Willoughby with the steal.
I'm surprised they haven't tested going at Keely Froling once or twice more. Give her a couple of hits early, see if they can sucker that fourth foul without overcooking it. But I don't think they've tested that one enough yet.
Willoughby to the rack. Missing that time. And she has managed that 3-foul situation well so far. Keely Froling. Here's Cole. On Conti, reinserted into the fray. Bishop on the wing. Thornton, triple. Can't find the rim. Flyers struggling to find the bottom of the basket at the moment.
Yeah, they're looking a little tentative offensively.
Just 1 of 7 from 3 so far in this contest. On cue, Carly Ernst about to re-enter for the Flyers. Froling gets around Thornton. Nice move.
Yeah, nice up fake. Not too quick, not too slow. Got her in the air. Makes it easy if you can get them to lift their feet.
Extends that lead for Sydney. Conti assessing. Moses is there. Here's Cole. One straight into Mangakar here. Play on, says the ref. Conti can't go on the follow.
Mangakar here a bit stiff not to get a charge call then. She got exactly the same call in the first half. So great D by her. I'd love to see Southside go back into Thornton on the block. I know Rose doing an exceptional job on defence, but that has proved very difficult to stop. So we'd like to see a bit more of that action.
There's Panousis. Running point for Sydney. 4 minutes to go before the final break in Melbourne. Massive crowd in attendance for the Cygnett WNBL. Poch with the steal in transition. Makes no mistake. Nadia Poch with the defence into offence. And nearly again, the collision on the long pass. How's the hustle from the youngster?
Yeah, great job by Poch. Keely had a mismatch in there against Beck Cole, but great team defence by the Flyers to, to read that and get a fast break layup.
So Mangakar here took a pretty big hit then. I'm sure the people in those Hollywood seats were enjoying that.
They can play as they clean up the spillage on the floor. And Panousis heads to the bench. Here comes Clark. Her first minutes of the second half after starting the game today. She's been great.
Yeah, she was impressive. Hit the 3 early. Defended well.
So 3 throws for Mangakar here. Flames have struggled from this spot so far this evening. And the first falls.
Reverse psychology commentator's curse. Liam.
I've learnt from the previous mistake. And Mangakar here will go 2 from 2.
Gosh, it's a ball game. Yeah, I've said it before, but it's got that real final sense, hasn't it? It's not high scoring. It's a grind. It's physical, intense defense, a little bit of nerves.
Here we go, Thornton on the block.
Hands it out to Ernst. Top of the lane, miscommunication.
Carly just needs to shoot that. She's an exceptional shooter. She just needs to let that one fly from that free throw line.
Plus, she's got Willoughby sitting on the rim there to put it back if she misses. She'll work her man down low and then back in.
Mangakar here, great find. Clark just missing. Thornton the other way for Southside. Offense has dried up in this third.
Again,
the home side.
Inside, missed her, but they've got her now. Thornton on the inside. They're running that action well. Little big screen, get her wheel back and really seal on the point of the rim. She was open probably 2 seconds prior to that, but they finally got her the ball and she gets an easy one. You called it, Tess. They need to go to that.
Yeah, they're not... Flames aren't sending the double team, so I'll keep going to it, go to it until they send a double team and adjust.
Mangakar here from the car park won't go.
And tough to double her. You know, she's sealing on the point of the rim. She's not sitting on the block. It's a tough position to bring someone from if they're spaced well enough.
Poch has come on in this third quarter and really ignited the Flyers. She's playing great defence and running the lane super well, getting some easy baskets for her team.
She's been good off the bench. 4 points. Now she's at the line. Poch.
Yeah, neither team have really had a big momentum swing, has it? It's been an arm wrestle. 2 points, 4 points.
And entrusted with Some closing moments as well throughout the season, Poch. The defence, such an asset to the Flyers.
Yeah, she was huge in the contest last time. In fact, I'm going to say she was the match winner against Sydney 3 weeks ago in Sydney. Sydney led most of the way. She came up with 2 massive blocks down the stretch. Her team may well need her to do that again today.
Looks like it could be similar as Conti hits the deck. Goes against Willoughby. So the 3rd personal on Jocelyn Willoughby.
Yeah, she wasn't set there. Great defence from Moncon to, force Tiana away from the on ball, making it a bit harder for Willoughby to set a great screen.
So we head the other way. Flyers, the chance to retake the lead. Deep into this 3rd quarter. Thornton gets around Shervin. Long-range floater. No good. Here's Willoughby. Angakahia around Rochi, probing at the perimeter. Poch using her length, trying to stop Willoughby, barging through. Offensive foul.
Wow, big play by the young Poch.
Massive from Poch.
The crowd love it.
It's great offense and great defense. I'd love to see that one just play on.
What an impact she's had since entering this game in the 3rd. On the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, I think the referee saw the head throw back, and that was the kicker to make her call it. So I know that Poch practices that, but it's a nice little move to get the referees to see that you've taken a nudge.
Conti. Now Rochi. Blitzarves moving it quickly. Ernst has a mismatch, won't go. Froling collects it. Tied up here. First game of the Saturday night doubleheader of the Cygnett WNBL. Shervin in the post. Working on the Flyers. They come over to assist, and the stop finds Conti in transition. Cross-court pass. Rochi inside the arc. It goes.
Great extra pass there by Carly, and great shot from Maddie. Would have loved to see that down the other end. Flames got the mismatch inside, and they had Emma Clark wide open on the wing. Southside sent all their players, so would have loved to see that Flames execute the same extra pass.
Shervin, hand off to Clark. Ernst was there, good defence, says the ref. Poch gets it out of there. Now Rochi, and the foul call on Angakahia. So in the bonus, it seems.
Her 3rd as well. So they're big 3, you'd say, in Willoughby, Froling and Angakahia, all on 3 fouls.
And Jocelyn Willoughby as well with the 5. So a big blow for the Flames. Rochi at the line. Bring her tally to 14 in the contest. It's been tight all game long. Flyers, their biggest lead of the ball game, 4, and they tie it. 45 seconds out from the 3-quarter time break.
Big possession here for the Sydney Flames. They want to go into 3-quarter time with some momentum as Angakahia forced her way to the rim downhill. Gets the N1.
Tough stuff from Angakahia. And one to come with a continuation 3-throw. 6 of 14 from the field. The matchup with Rochi Tess has been terrific to watch.
Yeah, Tiana's dealing with an awful lot of pressure. If she doesn't have Maddie defending her up the court, she's got Moncon defending her up the court. So she's been super impressive tonight. I think she's leading her team from the front exceptionally well.
3-throw to come. To close the lead to a solitary point. The Melbourne crowd trying to deter. And she makes no mistake. Ernst into Poch. Now Rochi will steady for Southside.
10-second differential. Can the Sydney Flames get a stop here? They'll have 10 to 12 seconds to try and get themselves a basket. Big defensive stop required here.
Rochi back down low. Blitzarves through. And the foul call against Sydney. So Belitzarves will go to the free-throw line. Quieter evening by her lofty standards, Belitzarves, so far.
Yeah, she hasn't been involved in much, has she?
Yeah, she does have the 4 rebounds and the 4 assists, though, so she's doing all the little things that her team needs. In the first quarter, Cheryl Chambers was telling her to keep going to the glass, so that's obviously her goal for the game, so she's doing a pretty good job there.
And makes 2 of 2 on that occasion. So now the Flames with the 16-second shot clock off. And the collision. Flyers with a win. Bench loves it. So they, it seems, will have the final shot to win the third.
Oh, I don't know what else Keely could have really done there. Unless it was an offensive foul on Panousis.
The collision between Rochi and Froling. Perhaps unlucky. Really taken centre stage here at John Cain Arena tonight as the WNBL. Major event in town here in the nation's sporting capital. Rochi tries to fight through, turnover.
Big defensive pressure by Munga Kahia. Massive play for her team. Wins possession back. Seesawing affair in this third quarter, even just in this last 45 seconds.
Yeah, certainly. So Munga Kahia. Can she provide the final clean look for Sydney? The 3-ball won't go. So 3-point ball game. Southside wrestled back the lead in the latter stages of that quarter. It's going to be a ball game. 10 minutes of action to go here. And we do have, guys, the attendance numbers with us right now, and it is great news as we see the highlights here. Thornton was great as well towards the end of that third. Final numbers, guys, 7,681. That breaks the all-time WNBL record. Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. It's monumental. Would have been great to be there, Tess, but it's great to be here in commentary. But that's massive for a regular season game in particular. This isn't a grand final or a semi-final. A regular season game, first time the WNBL's been played at John Cain Arena. The WNBL's been around for 43 seasons. You know, our great players used to play in front of 500 or 600 way back in the 80s in the, out at suburban stadiums. So to see this, it's massive and speaks to the growth of women's sport and in particular of the WNBL.
Well said, Carrie. It is a remarkable achievement. We've got Candy Hertz down courtside as well with Danny Minogue, one of the many familiar faces in attendance.
I am with the truly gorgeous Danny Minogue. Danny, how exciting is this? So good to see you here, of course, at the WNBL, a familiar face at the NBL, but here tonight, and we just announced in broadcast that we have broken the record for the most people who have ever attended the WNBL. How wonderful is that?
I'm so proud of the girls for WNBL. It's incredible. John Cain Arena is the most beautiful venue. So whether you're a performer singing or you're playing sports, like you have those iconic venues that you want to play. And this is it. And the girls are showing up with some great game. And it's such a good event.
And it's such fun tonight. There's such a good energy in here. What a great one to bring your beautiful son Ethan to as well. How great for him to have a chance to see women on a stage like this here.
It's great, and like their percentage of their shots that they're getting is incredible. So I'm like, look and learn, look and learn.
Watch out, team, back in the studio. You might have another expert on the panel with you. Danny, it's so great to see you here. Keep enjoying your night.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Candy. Great to hear from Danny Minogue there. Fourth quarter underway. Record attendance for a WNBL game. Of course, as we mentioned off the top, the previous record, 7,500 in a grand final in 1995 between the Adelaide Lightning and the Melbourne Tigers. Rolling hits the deck. Tess, as Opal skipper, a star of the league, it must be fantastic to see that record fall.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'd love to see, this become the norm for the WNBL and get this many fans out to every game, but great job from the league and in particular Southside to put this on tonight.
We've got a 3-point ball game with a quarter remaining here. The Flames taking it right up to the Flyers. And right on brand, really, when you look at their form over the last couple of weeks. Sydney taking it up to some good teams. Panousis just missing on the 2. Now Ernst. Down low to Thornton. Puts up the two, it's good.
That's tough.
Poise, patience, checks out, lets a few cutters go through. I'll just lean in.
Very comfortable. Rowe slashing hard at the hoop. Turns the Jets on. Sydney with the basket back. Rochi over to Poch, mishandling. Rochi and Rowe, they get tangled up, and Rowe's won it for the Flames. Panousis, 2-on-2 situation. Great find to Clark.
Great defence by the Flames. They're really junking it up, playing up and in, exactly how they need to play to win this game.
And they just hang around, you know, they lose a bit of momentum, make a couple of possession plays with great intensity, and they find themselves back within one.
Thornton, well inside the arc. Ernst was there on the follow. Sydney, again their transition game. And the foul call on Thornton. So just the second personal for her. Perhaps stopped an easy basket for the Flames.
Yeah, definitely. And had she not hit her then, it was almost going to be a travel call, I think.
So Clark at the line.
In the nick of time, foul was called. Clark's been impressive tonight. You know, she's seeing more time now with Willoughby. Sat down with the 5 fouls. She started really well.
Brings her tally to 10.7 boards. Replaced Shervin in the starting lineup in this one, as they opted to go small, and reflected really. And you see how fast they've been moving it.
Yeah, you know, and look, for this Sydney Flames team, they would have done a lot of preparation on how they were going to defend Lauren. I anticipate that maybe they would have been double-teaming Lauren, so then they've had to flip their whole game plan with Lauren going out with that injury in the first minute of the game. So they've done a great job to hang around in this one.
Great post finish from Bishop.
Much needed basket for the Flyers as well, so they go inside to their veteran Abby Bishop, and she delivers.
Car here. It's back iron, follows her own miss. Now inside the keyway. Won't go. Leading scorer in this ball game is Mangakar here with 19. And gets tangled up with Bishop, and she'll waltz in for 2.
That's great defence. Slice that screen by Bishop and beat the 2-on-1.
Assistance personified for the Sydney point guard. 1-point ball game.
The thing the Sydney Flames have been able to do is keep the crowd out of it to some extent. They haven't allowed, by the way they're playing rugged D. It's not a high-scoring game. For the home team, it really takes the crowd out of the game.
Thornton short on the deep 3. Bishop first to it, and Blitzarves is there. 1 to come at the line,
and that'll get the crowd into it.
Offensive rebound for Blitzarves.
Great job by Bishop to keep that ball alive, and then Sarah to not give up on the play and gets rewarded with the N1 opportunity.
So they're perfect from the line so far this evening, the Flyers. 17 of 17. And right on cue, it happens again. There's the first miss. Flyers, though, with that last basket, retake the lead. Here's Panousis.
And Clark wide open in the corner.
Angakar here, a little short.
Great D by Poch.
Tracks it down, tight to the baseline, and Poch with the defense. It does remain Flames ball.
11 on the shot clock. Let's see what they go to here. Can they get something coming at the rim?
Poch defending inbounds. Froling under the basket. Panousis got to make the move for the Flames. The 3 goes up and in for Panousis.
Big shot, Panousis. Timely 3, to say the least.
The test looks strong from Rochi. With the finish even better. Timely indeed carry. Here's Maddie Rochi with the ball. Thornton. Over to the opposite corner. Poch for 3. Returns fire for the Flyers.
Big shot for Poch.
Her second half in particular has been awesome. Timeout on the floor. And this one brought to you by Aussie Hoops. It's the perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. And Aussie Hoops centres are taking registrations for term 1 right now. Whether your little one is an eager basketball fan or simply looking to get active and make some new friends, register now and get ready to hit the hoops. Aussie Hoops is the best way to kickstart their basketball journey. This game has been bucket for bucket so far. Trading blows, 1-point ball game. Sydney undermanned. They've lost Willoughby due to foul trouble, and yet right in it, largely thanks to their point guard. Have you seen the fourth quarter play out so far, Tess?
Yeah, Sydney really up and in, forcing Southside into some shots that they probably wouldn't like, early shots. But, you know, the veterans for Flyers, Sarah, Abby, are really stepping up and steadying the ship for their team.
Hey, Rochi leads the way with 15. 11 off the bench from Bishop, who's got 8 boards as well. The Flames have been causing some issues on the offensive glass too.
Yeah, they have. They've gone after it hard. I think that's and that would have been one of their keys going into the game. Can they compete as a group on the glass? You know, we've talked about them being undersized and undermanned, but if you've got lack of size, you've got to go there every single time with persistence, and they've been rewarded when they've done that.
Panousis to start proceedings for the Flames.
Foul called on Abby Bishop.
And 4th. Another big in foul trouble here in this one.
We've talked about the depth of this Southside Flyers team. LJ out injured, you got Bishop in foul trouble, and you got Carliant sitting on the bench to come in and support.
Froling working on Blitzarves. Down low. Defense strong, stays with Sydney.
Great D there by Sarah, and then you've got Blitzarves and Potch, who can also both play as a big, so they're super tall, super lengthy, and super deep.
Candy was down there in the Sydney huddle. Candy, what did you catch?
I really need to share with you guys that Shelley, when she's doing her talk to the team, is so calm and so supportive, really saying they're doing a great job. They need to focus on the little things. She really spoke out to Tiana, saying that she has to guard just a little harder and a bit more action on the offense.
Thank you, Candy. Into Clark. Late shot clock situation. Thornton on the fast break. Potch just missing, but Thornton cleans it up.
Flyers had 4 people on the glass there. Sydney really need to match that. If they're going to win this game, they really need to out-hustle the Flyers in this last 5 minutes.
Sydney with the extra possession. Manga Kahia takes to her feet once again. Here's Froling. Loses the defender. Gets Thornton in the air. Trouble call. Big blow for Froling in the Flames.
Yeah, she pump-faked and got in the air. She must have dragged that back foot.
What would have been a certain basket overturned. Halfway through the 4th. Flyers by 3.
Extended pressure by the Sydney Flames. 2 guards that can harass in Panousis and Manga Kahia.
Conti off the pine. Out there for Southside. Blitzarves. That's Froling right in her grill. Conti will reset. Some movement from Rochi at the 3-throw line. Falls home.
Great back cut there by Maddie. Great read on the defence.
Flyers again pushing it in transition. Rowe just lost her geography for a second. Now Rochi in transition. Tried to find Blitzarves. Miscue.
Crowd would have enjoyed that one. You could hear them in anticipation. A bit of flare and flash from Maddie Rochi. Couldn't quite complete the play.
Flames will be looking to get a really good look here. Who would you go to, Graffy?
I think they've got to go Manga Kahia. See if you can get Manga Kahia and Keely Froling in some ball screen action. Although, having said that, they switch and they're long, but...
And find Rowe, wide open, corner 3. Doesn't drop.
Get something coming where Clark's in the corner taking that 3. With all due respect to Kira Rowe, she's a defensive specialist. You know, can they get the ball on the side where you're more like your specialist shooter in Clark? Sit her up in the corner.
Rowe spikes away the entrance pass. Once again, both teams looking to advance the ball quickly.
You sense if the Southside Flyers get a bucket here, it might really lift the crowd, give them a bit of momentum.
Conti did really well. Straight back to Blitzarves. The link up, beautiful. And that is the biggest lead of the game for either team.
We see a timeout coming soon from Coach Shelley Gorman. Not let this one get out. As I said, you can sense it. Southside might pull away here.
Blitzarves corrals for the Flyers.
Big stop here for them.
For the first time in this ball game, just seem that little bit in control. Rochi wants the screen from Thornton. Comes off the leg of the Flames. Conti keeps it in the front court, loses it. So now Sydney in transition. Panousis pulls up for three. Big bucket. They needed that.
Great D by Panousis turned into great offense. Clutch shot. She's having a great shooting game tonight.
Into double figures. Vanessa Panousis. And another triple for her. Here's Poch. Down low. Thornton in traffic. Collides there with Clark, who was on the deck. Mangakahia. Panousis again hovering for the three. Will she fire again? She makes it again.
Wow, back-to-back threes. Panousis massive. Massive.
Causing all sorts of headaches. Panousis massive off the bench.
Just as you sense Southside could have potentially pulled away. Two big threes to hang around.
Conti in the keyway. Good defense, Froling. Blitzarves was there.
Oh, no.
Now stepped out of bounds.
That's Keely's fourth, I think, not her fifth. Great hustle by Sarah on the offensive glass, especially in this fourth quarter. She's made so many more opportunities for her team coming up clutch in this last quarter, which is exactly what you'd expect from their superstar Opal.
She's done well to manage the three personals to this point, Keely Froling. That is the fourth, as you mentioned, Tess. We've got Candy down there with Sally Cap.
Like this is such an amazing crowd in Melbourne.
It's extraordinary, a record crowd, and everyone's so happy to be here and excited to support women's basketball, and it's great for Melbourne, as you said.
How hopeful are you when you see crowds like this at women's sport for the future of sport in our country?
Well, look, this is the first time a women's basketball game has been played here in this arena. I'd love to think that it's on every weekend during the season with different teams going through, and I would be so proud if that happened. And this is really big steps forward in women's sport.
So we're going to have to do something to make that the reality, and it's so great to have you here supporting all the amazing things happening in Melbourne.
For the Melbourne Flyers.
Southside Flyers, we got it. Well done, Sal.
Great to hear from the Lord Mayor of Melbourne there, Sally Cap. And it would be terrific if we could have these games here at John Cain Arena much more often.
It would. We probably need someone to help us. Maybe we can get a deal on the John Cain Arena rent fees. That might help, I think. But yeah, look, great venues. I mean, it just lifts the whole... we know the standard of the WNBL in terms of the talent on the floor, but when you put it in a big arena, it just lifts it to a whole other level.
Yeah, I was just about to jump on the back, say exactly the same thing as that. You said it has felt like a finals game for the whole game, and I think that is a credit to them playing at this amazing arena.
It has felt like a finals game indeed. Matchup, albeit between first and sixth on the table. That's been tight the whole way. Jumped out to 8 points at one stage, and then Vanessa Panousis went and dropped back-to-back triples, back to 2 points.
Both teams without, key players. LJ out with that injury in the first minute. Willoughby sitting on the bench with 5 fouls. Two key players for their teams.
Here is LJ. The cruel blow in the opening minutes, like you mentioned, Carrie.
Lower limb injury, so it's not the foot that's injured. It's the other leg, and it's a lower limb injury. We thought it might have been the knee, but it's lower limb.
Going in for scans tomorrow is the word from the Flyers bench. Conti to inbound. Rochi hits the deck.
Kiro called for the foul, pushing through that screen action.
It's been one of those games. Players flying all over the floor, diving on loose balls.
It's physical, it's intense. It definitely looks like a hard game to officiate out there. So huge shout out to the referees who are doing a great job keeping it under control. But I think that goes to it feeling like a finals game. It's more intense, it's more physical, and both teams are doing a great job.
And the scoreline says that too. You know, both of these teams score, you know, particularly Southside score in the 80s, average in the 80s. This is a championship game type scoring in the mid-60s, low scoring game.
Highest scoring team in the league on average are the Flyers. Now Rochi down the lane, Blitzarves follows the miss. And Clark, great defence to pull down the rebound.
There's Sarah Blitzarves with another O board, another possession for her team.
Panousis has the hot hand for Sydney. 2 minutes remaining here at John Cain Arena. Mangakahia, what a game she's had. Froling off the dribble. Panousis again for three. Finally the miss from the Southside perspective.
I wouldn't be giving her that much space if I was the Southside Flyers to get that three off. I'd be staying very attached. Great pass by Keeley. She drew the help, and then nice. That's a great look for the Flames at this stage in the game.
Foul call on Sarah Blitzarves then on the rebound play.
A fresh 14 for the Flames. Panousis with 15 points in the inbounds. Too long to get it in. Big win for the Flyers.
Big defensive play. Crowd enjoying that.
They're involved here. Just under 7,700 strong in attendance. If you've joined us late, it's an all-time WNBL record. Here's Poch. Rochi. 100 seconds out. Here's Conti. Down low, the Thornton just fumbles.
Had the mismatch. She had Panousis on the top side. The help was coming from Keeley rolling behind, but you know, credit to the Sydney Flames defense. They had pressure on the ball. The feeder stayed high on that top side. The help was coming early. Forced a turnover.
Panousis off the bench. Played a terrific game. Mangakahia has the row screen. Probing. Assessing her options. 6 seconds. Goes herself to the rack. Mangakahia.
That's tough.
Big time bucket off the dribble. Slicing through for two. And that ties it up, forcing a timeout. Sydney have come down here to spoil the Southside party. And they've gone about it the right way so far, Carrie.
Yeah, that they have. I mean, you know, 3 minutes to go. We thought it might have swung Southside's way, but Panousis with those couple of big threes. The point guard play in these last couple of minutes has been exceptional. You know, we just saw Mangakahia then get on the rim. The pressure defense from the guards on each other and then preventing the ball going inside. But this one's going all the way to the wire. Could we have overtime?
I think it's definitely a possibility. Great poise from Tiana. I thought she could have shot that three behind the pick and roll, but got down to her preferred right hand. If I was Flyers, I'd definitely try to get her off that right hand because it's pretty unstoppable once she's downhill.
Yeah, she's found a way to finish. You know, and defensively here, it's, you know, what do they go do? They switch. What are they going to do on the post at the other end? It's this is why we like this game of basketball. The tactics down the stretch. Who's doing what? Are they going to switch stuff? Are they going to trap? Who's got the ball in their hands? Who do you want the ball in their hands? You'd have to say it's got to be Mangakahia for Sydney, and get Panousis. But their shooters stretched out. I mean, tough. They've got, you know, Willoughby sitting out that takes out a scoring punch, but you know, I think they've got to position some of their players in the right. You know, we've seen a couple of times where it's gone maybe to their non-shooter. Can they get their sets and their spacing correct so that when there is help drawn, they can spit it out to the right person?
It's been a game that's lived up to the billing, all tied up here at JCA. Rochi. Blitzarves turned it over the head of Bishop.
That was a good look, though, and their last play was a good look. Thornton down in the block with a mismatch. They just need to execute that pass a little bit better to the person that's open. Southside are sending Flames are sending a crowd now.
Turnovers have been A little shaky for the Flyers. Number 22 in the ball game. Panousis. Froling wanted the handoff. Ops against it. Now Panousis off the dribble. Driving hard on Rochi. And another stop. So less than a minute to go here. A basket on this possession would be huge for Southside. And the call on Clark. And that will be team foul number 5. So the 2 shots for Rochi.
Wow, she's an exceptional free throw shooter, but these ones are pressure. 40 seconds to go, all tied up, massive crowd.
78% clip on her career. Makes no mistake on the first. With the crowd behind her. Maddie Rochi takes her tally to 19. And her team the 2-point lead. Mangakahia takes on Poch. And she draws the foul. So 2 shots to come up as well for Mangakahia.
That point guard battle's been impressive, hasn't it?
It really has. It's great to see Pot showing her versatility. She took Tiana out of the previous play, fully denied her the ball, made Sydney go to a different look, and this, you see her up the court defending her here.
Mangakahia, first one drops. To tie it up. She's been huge for Sydney. And she does just that.
10-second differential.
These 2 teams trading blows in the final stages, as they have all evening long.
Both coaches with a timeout remaining.
Rochi, 8-second shot clock. Picks it up at the 3-throw line. Rochi's got to go. Down low. Bishop just in time, missing. Blitzarf's front position on the O-glass. But it's Sydney ball.
Huge for the Sydney Flames.
Wow, I thought that was a good look. Maddie saw Bish down low. Just unlucky with the execution of the shot. But I'm really excited to see what Coach Shelley Gorman draws up here. Can she get her first win in the WNBL?
10.6 is the scenario for the Flames. Carrie, what do you think you draw up here?
It's got to be something with Mangakahia going downhill and shoot is spotted up in the right spots. Give her some space to put on the floor. I'm not sure you bring a ball screen. I think maybe just let her play. They're switching with length. Maybe you reject that ball screen and let her just put the ball on the deck and see if she can make the play. You know she can finish. You know she's an excellent free throw shooter. I don't know. The ball screen right now is what they need. I think give us some room to play. Having said that, do they do that, or do they just have they got a set that they go to, and do you score early? That's the challenge here. Do you go for a quick one, reasonably quick, or do you just say, hey, we're going to make sure we take the last shot. We're going to take the shot with 3 seconds-ish to go. Give us that. If we miss, a chance to put it back. If not, the worst thing that can happen is we go OT.
And second chance points have come for Sydney today. 15 offensive rebounds in the ball game.
And I think critically for them, it's who do you have passing the ball in? You've got to make sure you've got a great feeder that's inbounding the ball that can get that ball to the person that you want the ball in their hands. And who do you want away from the ball?
So here we go. Flyers with their best defensive unit out there on the floor. So we'll inbounds from the baseline. Froling into Mangakahia. 10 seconds. Tied up. Record crowd. Mangakahia loses it, but the call goes her way. 2 shots for Sydney. Looked a little ginger on that ankle.
She did, straight away. Let's see it on the replay. Gets downhill.
They have stepped on the foot of Abby Bishop. So Mangakahia, fitting for Sydney that it is in her hands. Led all night from the front.
Southside Flyers have a timeout remaining. You'd imagine on these 2 makes, though, after the second make, if it's made. They'll call a timeout, advance the ball and try and execute something with 2.7 seconds to go. Does Manga Kahia make the first test and then miss the second?
Oh no, first misses. So a lot of pressure on this final free throw. Manga Kahia.
It's actually not a disaster if she misses. It goes to OT. I don't think they can get it up in 3 seconds.
And she makes on the second. So there is the timeout carry.
You'll see timeout here. Obviously, we can't get into the timeouts in the last 2 minutes. Coach Cheryl Chambers calls a timeout on that make. They'll advance the ball. They've got almost 3 seconds to execute a play. I'm suggesting they run some sort of little big screen action. Get a big on the rim.
2.7 is the equation. We've got Candy Hertz down there on the court as well. It's got to be an electric atmosphere down there, Candy.
Team, you would never know that this is the very first time ever that a WNBL game has been at John Cain Arena. This is like a well-rehearsed crowd. It is actually nuts in here. I don't think I've ever heard it this loud, and I've been here for many different events. So well done to the WNBL crowd. Clearly passionate and clearly having a ball.
It is great to see young fans all around the stadium pumped up, and a big moment potentially to come.
Interesting here, Tess, what they go with. Have they got some little big screen action to get Thornton on the rim? Who feeds the ball in? They've got Maddie Rocci, point guard, looking to feed the ball in. You'd expect to see Kayla Thornton get close to the rim, get a catch and make a play.
Rocci to inbound. 2.7. Kayla Thornton makes her move in the lane, just misses. Oh, so close, and the Flames have come into Melbourne and stolen victory at John Cain Arena by the slimmest of margins.
Massive play, Emma Clark. A huge defensive stop for them. Kira Rowe, apologies. Kira Rowe, the miss by Thornton, and coach Shelley Gorman gets her first win as a WNBL head coach.
It looks like on that floater there was a moment where it was going to drop with a friendly roll.
Yeah, I mean, they got it the exact look. What a great look for the Flyers. Unfortunately, it just didn't drop for them. But yeah, great coaching, I think, from both teams. But huge shout out to Shelley for that first win. And great, you know, what a great spectacle of women's basketball on our Saturday night. I wish I could be there in person. I wish I was playing in the game, but huge shout out to both teams, all players that took the floor. It's just an amazing night for women's basketball.
What a way to register your first win as well for Shelley Gorman on this stage in front of a record crowd. They've been building now for a couple of weeks, some tight losses to the Flyers, to Townsville, and now they finally register the victory. We've got Candy Hertz down there with the star of the evening, Tiana Manga Kahia. Candy.
She really is the star of the atmosphere, and she just told me to do that. Yeah, okay, fine, thank you. Not only is she clutch on the court, but clutch as a friend as well. Tiana Manga Kahia, congratulations. That was clearly a tough matchup. You wanted it really badly. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming in here it was going to be hard, especially with this atmosphere. It's amazing, and good job to Southside. They did an awesome job, and it was just a really great game.
It was incredible to see the fight out there, the real dog in you guys. Tell me about that came from.
Yeah, I think, you know, everything we've been through this season, it's really hard to keep pushing through, and that was our opportunity, and, you know, we took it and we ran with it.
And also, how amazing was it in here tonight? John Cain Arena, we actually broke the record, so it's been broken now for the WNBL. You must be proud having been able to experience it as well.
Yeah, it was amazing. I don't think I played in this atmosphere before, especially when I'm shooting free throws at the end. They did a great job, but yeah, it was amazing.
Well, you did a great job too. Congratulations, Tiana, and congratulations on the win. Great job, and we are also hoping to be speaking to our incredible LJ, get a bit of an update from her as well, not only on how she's feeling, but how she feels about this, like you can hear, the biggest crowd in WNBL history. She is coming on over to us right now. LJ, it was just announced the biggest crowd in WNBL history, a proud moment, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's so special. The crowd's been amazing tonight, and yeah, incredible.
Also incredible, you've got your little ones running around us here as well. Can you give us a quick update on how you're feeling?
I mean, I don't feel great, but it is what it is. I was on borrowed time anyway, so what a way. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? Like, anyway.
You know what, LJ, it's been an incredible year for women's basketball. The Rose Gold win, and we've also, of course, had your induction into the Wall of Fame, and now this record-breaking crowd. How are you feeling about the future of women's basketball?
Oh, I think we're in good hands. The league's definitely doing great, and, you know, we've got such great supporters as well, so it's very special.
Well, we wish you all the best on some recovery and enjoy this moment with your young boys here. It's exciting to have them being able to witness this moment, isn't it?
It is. It's great.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations, and we can't wait to hear good news from you soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Candy. Got a feel for Lauren. It's obviously a terrific occasion. Got to be tough, though. Opening minutes to go down with what we think might be an Achilles injury. Hoping for good news tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And athletes know their bodies pretty well. You know, Loz has had a long, stellar career, but she's had injuries, and you know when something not great has happened, and you get the sense from there she kind of knows it's not good news.
Yeah, and she plays through everything, so much pain. She's an incredible, the most fierce competitor I've ever played with, and, you know, 7,600 people, she really brought them out to the stadium today. So although it didn't go her way today, she should be so proud of herself and the fantastic career that she has had and everything she's done for women's basketball in Australia.
Melbourne certainly came out and showed their love to the greatest to ever do it here on these shores, Lauren Jackson. The Sydney Flames, meanwhile, come away with really a victory that I think many of these players and coaches will not forget.
No, I mean, huge win for them. It was a tussle. They were undermanned. They had players foul out. You know, the coaches, I mean, Shelley Gorman was Lauren Jackson's roommate at the 2000 Olympics. You know, there's a lot of people involved in investing in this game, and for Sydney to come up with an upset in an historic game like this, massive for them.
Jerry Ryan about to present Lauren with a commemorative gift as well. Of course, Jerry playing a keen role along with the Flyers in getting this game together here at John Cain Arena.
Yeah, his investment in all sport, but in particular women's sport. You know, he sponsored what was the predecessor to the Southside Flyers, the Dandenong Rangers, over 25 years ago. They've been naming rights sponsor of the Opals, and his investment in sport is phenomenal, and particularly support of the WNBL and women's basketball.
Some of the highlights from the game, and the threes down the stretch as well from Panousis, they were crucial.
They were massive. You know, we talked about Potch and her involvement in the game 3 weeks ago in Sydney in front of a big crowd. But Panousis, I think those shots were clutch. They swung it. Southside were about to break out, I think, and push out that lead, but they were clutch.
They were huge. 15 points for Panousis, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Manga Kahia led the way with 26. Good showing from Nadia Potch as well in the third quarter, I thought, Tess.
Yeah, she's really showing us what she can do and what a fantastic career she has ahead of her. She's so versatile on offense and defense, and I think, you know, she really is a shooting guard in her skill set. So to have someone that tall with that type of skill set, I think, you know, the future of basketball is very bright in Australia.
Some of the guards start as well. We've spoken of the Sydney ones. Maddie Rocci as well was terrific. Unfortunately, the wrong side of the result today, but she led from the front.
Yeah, I think particularly in that first half where, you know, Southside, where LJ went down, there was a lot of emotion within the team. I think she did a fantastic job leading and really holding them steady in the first half to give them a chance in the second.
Emotional scenes here for Lauren.
A good mate, Rachel Menapea, has been good friends with Lauren, played with her down at Albury, coming over to provide some support.
And great to see this Melbourne crowd stick around as well to pay tribute to the GOAT. Here she is. The bouquet from the Flyers. Such love and brought so much support here at the WNBL. A standing ovation for Lauren Jackson. Come back and has not missed a beat. We know of her exploits at the World Cup. 15 points per game this season. And so often the scout is focused around how to stop LJ.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, Sydney prepared for LJ. She had 30 on them 3 weeks ago and was in scintillating form. Tess and I were talking before the game. She was playing the form like she had in the Rose Gold game. So, you know, the focus was clearly on them, and then for them to prepare and not have to play her was tough for them, and certainly tough for Loz.
Certainly is. So we might just struggle to catch this on-court interview with LJ. Tess, obviously playing with her most recently for the Opals. That must have been surreal, really, given her standing in the game.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, she definitely added a level of toughness and competitiveness that I think was, you know, went a long way in our success at the World Cup, and she's really instilled that within the Opals. As you know, that was her last game, that rose gold game, unfortunately, but the legacy she's left with us will definitely last, you know, for as long as we're all there, and then hopefully pass it down to the future ones coming through. So, you know, it was an honour and a privilege to play with the greatest basketballer of all time within Australia, and, you know, arguably the best women's player ever to play in the world. So she's had an amazing career, and I'm just so honoured and grateful to have had a small part in that last year in the World Cup.
The greatest career here for any Australian player. Unbelievable. Started in 1997 with the AIS. 2001 was her first WNBA season. We've got Candy Hertz down there with Shelley Gorman. Candy.
Coach, congratulations. There was some serious fight in your team today. What did you say to them?
I didn't have much to do with it. It was all them. They've fought all season. You know, we haven't had many wins, but they're just fighters. I'm so proud of the way they played, and, you know, it's against a great team. So, yeah, it was an amazing win for us.
An incredible win. Congratulations once again. I could feel that intensity. I think we all could out here. How incredible to have the team play on this amazing arena today. Packed. You know that we actually broke the record.
Yeah, I just heard that. Was it by 100 or so? Or
yeah, about 181 people. Thank you so much to all of them.
About 181. That's great. Yeah, no, it's amazing. It was such a great atmosphere, and we just felt so happy, and we just, to be able to even be a part of this. Like, Lauren Jackson is an absolute superstar. You know, she's humble, she's gracious, and, you know, just love her.
And that's exactly where I wanted to go to next. I know how well you know her. How amazing was it to be part of this day, which a lot of it was about celebrating her greatness, and then, of course, that moment we just witnessed. A bit emotional.
Yeah, it was emotional. But like I said, I feel that we felt like it could have been any team in the league. We felt we were that lucky just to be a part of this, and then just to witness this, and then to break the record. There's so many wonderful things about today. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Great to hear from Shelley Gorman. Might suspect that, look, she'll be pretty elated tonight, Carrie. Could be a few sleepless hours.
Yeah, although she's such a pro, and you talk about Australian great basketballers. You know, three-time Olympian herself. You know, was one of the great Opals to help pave the way for our athletes to play professionally overseas. She, Michelle Timms, and Sandy Brondello were our early players that sort of led the way in terms of carving their way into Europe and into the US leagues. You know, Shelley's an MVP of the league, an all-star, a champion, you know, and gracious and humble too. So I think for all of those former athletes and coaches that were at the game, the appreciation of it and how special it was to be there was, we heard Shelley say how good that was.
Of course, we've got one more game to come this evening as well, over in the country's west, Perth and Townsville. A double header for you. Here's the remainder of round 13. And then tomorrow, a big game as well. Melbourne and Bendigo, 3 p.m. Eastern. Both really top 5 games. They promise to shape the finals.
Yeah, that they will. The Perth-Townsville one tonight will be a ripper. It was a bit of a blowout, but then a 10-point win for Townsville on Wednesday night. And your team, Tess, on Sunday, that's a massive one too. You know, second place versus fourth or third. It's finals come early, really.
Yeah, we really, really want to win that game tomorrow to, you know, get the head-to-head over Bendigo so we can have a chance at having a home final series.
You'll catch all the action live on 9 now. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you. Sydney, come to John Cain Arena. The WNBL all-time attendance record falls, and the Flames prevail by 1. Liam Ellison, Carrie Graff and Tess Madgen bringing it to you. Stick around. We've got a special tribute from players around the world to Lauren Jackson.
Josh Giddey here. Just want to congratulate you on an awesome career. You know, one hell of a career that a lot of kids are going to look up to and aspire to be like. A role model for not just young Australians, but kids all around the world, players all around the world. So once again, congratulations. Good luck tonight.
Thank the opportunity to congratulate you on a wonderful career. Hands down and quite clearly the best basketball Australia's ever produced. And show me someone like you with that, and they'll have their hands full. Congratulations, Lauren. Have fun tonight.
Lauren Jackson, the absolute legend of Australian basketball and world basketball. I just want to congratulate you and thank you for everything that you've done for Australian basketball, and also for women's sport. You know, keep doing what you're doing, girl, and enjoy the game in the big arena.
Lauren, what a great example you've been to all of the youth in this country that play any sport. Spectacular basketballer, best in the world. Made an amazing comeback to the Australian team. Retired from that now. Good on you. We're all so proud of you. Your humility is everlasting. And I hope a lot of the athletes of the world follow your example.
What can you say about LJ that hasn't already been said? To me, she's just the gift